Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it may be when you all are tuning into this broadcast. I am your international award-winning author, literary extraordinaire, and awe-inspiring coach, Tennille M. Jackson, and I want to welcome you guys to another episode of Book Review Tuesday. And as you all come in, feel free to say hello. Let me know where you are tuning in from. So in either case, I am so happy to be on today. We are going to be reviewing this book. It is entitled Hopelessly Persistent. And I know that you all, it may show backwards depending on what technology you have, but we are going to be reviewing Hopelessly Persistent, which was written by young adult author Miss Autumn Jackson. And so in either case, I am having a problem. Hey Dion, as you guys come on, say hello. Hello everybody. I am simulcasting again from Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, as well as Instagram, but Instagram is wanting to give me a problem. So I am trying to see what's going on with Instagram, because I want to get Instagram on with us too. So we are, hey Derek, thanks so much for tuning in. So we are going live, you guys. Well, we already are live, but we are going to be reviewing this book, Hopelessly Persistent, which is written by Autumn Jackson. And so in either case, I am trying to get Instagram on board before we officially get in. So while we're waiting for Instagram, I want to do my due diligence and give you guys the announcements, as I always do at the top of my broadcast. For those of you who may want to join my awe-inspiring community, it is an exclusive online group. And so those of you, whether you are authors, women, or entrepreneurs, so that means it's both genders, right? So authors or entrepreneurs could be male or female, as well as women. Hey, Joe, regardless of your gender, if you're an author, a woman, or an entrepreneur, hey, Ms. Beatrice, and if you are looking to be inspired, if you need more guidance, if you need coaching, then you may be interested in joining my awe-inspiring community. It's an exclusive group. The only way that you can get in is by officially joining. It is only $10 a month. And today, because of the fact that I am doing a review on Hopelessly Persistent, what you can do is say, hey, I want the book. And if you get the book, then I will put you into the group for free. And this is a today only discount. Okay. So if you guys want to be inside of my awe-inspiring community, all you have to do for today only is say, hey, I want the book. The book is $15, and I will include the shipping for you for that price. Normally it's 15 plus shipping, but because of the deal we're doing today, it is 15 only for the book. And not only will I pay shipping for you, but I will also put you inside of the awe-inspiring community for absolutely free. So all you have to do is in the comment section, whether you are on Periscope, Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, all you have to do is say, I want the book, okay? And this is a today only deal. So that is what we're doing. And in any other day, you are more than welcome to join the awe-inspiring community in the event that you want to become a part of the community, but for whatever reason you don't want the book, then it is only $10 a month to join. So I'm encouraging you guys to do that. Also, I have another major announcement. I am not going to announce it yet. It will probably be another week before I officially announce it. So be on the lookout for that major announcement. And it is going to impact all entrepreneurs everywhere. So be on the lookout for that announcement. Finally, don't forget that I will be doing my tour this year. We are going to start in April. So as we get closer to that time, I will be promoting it, but we'll be on the East Coast starting in April. I've been working behind the scenes very diligently to put this together. Hey, Melvin. So I'm hoping that you guys are really ready to jump into this book review. I really strongly encourage you guys to get this book. It's really age appropriate for whomever. It is not just for like teenagers. And initially that's what I thought. I thought that this was going to be a teen drama book that was geared only for, say, maybe like elementary school kids. So think maybe like 8th grade or up to maybe, 12th grade. That's what I was thinking. But this book is very good. And you all, I know it's been a minute since I've done my last book review. And so maybe you have forgotten how it is that I do it. But, excuse me, but what I do is, excuse me, I'm sorry. What I do is I go through the table of contents and I do not give a total book review, right? Because then, hey, Stephen, thanks for tuning in. Happy New Year to you. Because if I give you everything, then you'd have no incentive to read the book, right? So in either case, what I do is I go through the table of contents and then I just kind of break down the different chapters that I heavily identify with, the reason why I'm encouraging you guys to get the book yourselves, right? And so there are 18 chapters in this book. The first chapter is Meet Hope Stern. Hope Stern is the main character. The second chapter is Meet Cameron Stern. We'll later find out who he is. Chapter 3 is Let the Reformation Begin. Chapter 4 is Facing the Truth. Chapter 5 is Who Knew. Chapter 6 is Our Bond. Chapter 7 is Swarms of Emotion. Chapter 8 is The Voice. Chapter 9 is Our Story. Chapter 10 is The Date. Hey, Miss Irma, thanks for tuning in. Chapter 11 is A Familiar Face. Chapter 12 is A New Start. Chapter 13 is Figuring Things Out. Chapter 14 is Another Change. Chapter 15, Our Relationship. 16 is Proposal. 17 is A Lasting Effect. And then 18 is In the End, appropriately titled. So we want to jump in at first. Pretty much what this book, the overall, we're talking about, the name of the book is called Hopelessly Persistent. And so why I liked Hopelessly Persistent, thanks for sharing the video, Freddie. Hey, Miss Demetrius, thank you to everybody who's tuning in. Again, whether you are on Facebook, Instagram, Periscope, or YouTube, feel free to tag someone, feel free to wave, let me know where you're watching from. And, if you have a question, be sure to ask. If you have a comment, please feel free to post it. But when I heard the title of this book, Hopelessly Persistent, I was immediately drawn in because I feel like that kind of describes who I am. Is there anybody out there that would describe yourselves as being hopelessly persistent, right? So hopelessly persistent, meaning just that, where regardless of what it looks like, that you choose to continuously be hopeful, and you're going to keep on going regardless of what it looks like, right? So I thought that this, before reading it, I thought that this was either, because it was written by a teen author, I thought that it was either going to be, like a book that was geared toward, like I said, maybe, 8th graders, or say 6th to 12th grade. That's what I was thinking in my mind. I thought that, or with the title, I thought that this was going to be, just like an inspirational, hold on to the end type of a book, right? And we've read all those types of books before, but I was so I was pleasantly surprised because it was so much more depth to this book. And that's why I encourage, regardless of how old you are, for you to take the time to read it. So though it is a fictitious novel, the storyline itself is awesome, and it is applicable to whomever is going through anything in life, right? So let's just go through and let's talk a little bit about the main character, whose name is Hope Stern. So obviously, with the name being Hopelessly Persistent, then Hope is the main character. And she faces a lot of different trials and obstacles and things like that. And perhaps one of my favorite pieces in the book. So like I say, you guys know, I just kind of go through the table of contents, but I jump around. So I don't just give you chapter 1 was about this, chapter 2 was about that. I don't do that because then it would defeat the purpose of your getting the book. I've always done it this way, where I figure out the parts of the book that I really can connect with, and then I bring that to you all and encourage you to get the book and read it for yourselves. And so just generically speaking, the book was it was deeper than I thought. So there were parts of the book that discussed rape. or potential rape, I should say. So like if there are those of you who, and Kamitris is watching, I would say a couple months ago, I reviewed Kamitris's book, and it kind of talks along the same lines, right? So like, many times we feel that when we're talking about rape or incest or inappropriate touching, we feel like that these are people that strangers on the streets, or, like you just were walking down the alley and somebody snatched you. If you've never had to deal with it, what you will find is that many times rape or, that inappropriate touching that we're talking about, those feelings of being afraid and anxious, that comes from most of the time people that you know. So it could be family members, it could be people that you consider to be friends. These are people who typically become predators, and they prey on you hoping that you won't tell and that you won't say anything. And so without giving everything away, that is one of the things that's kind of discussed in this book. There is a situation where that comes up. And so, I feel that we all need to know that. I don't think that is an age, well, only adults can read about that or whatever. I think that is great for even our young people, especially our young people, to know, because many times what will happen is that, hey, Miss Kanita, many times what will happen is that the predator will make you feel as though you'll get in trouble if you say something. They'll make you feel as though that whoever it is you tell will side with them and not you. And so I think that the way that it is brought up in this book is really good, because it allows it, especially again, because we're talking about hopelessly persistent. Hello to Miss She Thrives Now. Thanks for joining. We're talking about the book Hopelessly Persistent, and this book is really good. And so in either case, because the book is written fictitiously, it probably will make it easier if you have somebody that's young in your circle that maybe you have not had this discussion with yet. It would actually be good to use this as a way of bringing, as a conversation piece, right? So you can kind of have them read it, because she doesn't go into things that would make it uncomfortable. If you're that type of parent or adult who you don't know how to kind of like break the ice and talk about a difficult subject or uncomfortable subject like that with your younger people, then it may behoove you to just simply have them read the book and you read along with them. So then that way, when they ask the question, or even if they don't ask, you can take the time to pause and explain what just happened, right? So that's one of the things in the book. Another one of the things in the book is suicide. And it's really crazy because, like, many times, those of you, if we're honest, I don't know how many of you have any type of dealings or any personal knowledge with suicide. I've shared my story before. I am not, new or stranger to suicidal thoughts or attempts. Let's see, I'm sorry. But so this is like something that I am very knowledgeable about. And so even hey, Miss Sharon, thanks for tuning in. Like, even in the way that she described it, and she started talking about the suicidal attempt and what happened, like, that was really deep for me, because again, when you're thinking about young people, you don't think that young people are thinking about suicide, right? Because as adults, we erroneously feel that, children don't have any issues. They're not going through anything. They don't have any, as we would say, real problems. So what are you thinking about suicide for? But I love this book because it's almost like out of nowhere, this person who has such a bright outlook on the future, even she gets disgusted and discouraged. Even she feels like giving up, right? And so when I saw that and the way that it was brought out in the book, it was really, really good, because again, most people who know me, or you feel that you know me, you would never think that I know firsthand about suicide or attempting suicide. You see what I'm saying? Like, because many times we see a person, we see their persona, we see nowadays, you see their posts, you see their pics, you see all these things, and you feel like, I know a person and I know what what they're going through. And that very person who you see that's smiling today and they're laughing today, tomorrow they'll have taken their lives, right? And so we have to always, as we've been saying here recently, be sure to check on your strong friends. Make sure that your strong friends are okay. Don't just always assume that because you see them smiling all the time. Like, ask me how I know. A lot of times we have mastered how to smile all the time. Why? Because people don't really want to know what you're going through. Like, have you ever had somebody ask you, oh, hey, how your day? And you try to say something other than okay. They didn't really carve out enough time to hear how your day went. You know what I'm saying? They just wanted for you to have that fluffy answer of, it's okay. It's fine. I'm fine. You know, so people always expect the answer to be, I'm okay. So what happens when you're actually not okay? Is there going to be, do you have someone in your circle that's able to listen to when it's not okay? That's able to receive you when all the answers are not politically correct, that still will love you even if you're doing some things that's maybe outside of your character, right? And so all of this, again, this is all discussed in this book, Hopelessly Persistent. And again, it's written by young adult author Autumn Jackson. And so I am strongly encouraging you guys to get it. And not only that, but I've said for today only, this is a today only deal. If you want this book and or if you want to be inserted into my all-inspiring community, if you buy the book today, so you put in the comments, I want that book, then I'm going to do two great things for you. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm going to do two great things for you. Number one, I'm going to ship you the book for absolutely free. All you have to do is pay for the book, which is $15, right? So not only will you get the book for a flat $15, free shipping, but I'm also going to put you in the group for free. So you will get 1 free month of membership as well as free shipping if you do indeed want this book. So we talked about rape was discussed in this book, suicide was discussed in this book, and of course you had to have some type of drama, right? You had to have some type of relationship drama going on. And here's the thing, let me tell you, I felt some type of way because as I was reading this, I'm wondering how is it that a teenager has such profound insight, not just on relationships, but the way that guys think, right? So if there are any ladies that's out here and if you got feel free to, raise your hand. But have you ever, anybody that's watching, have you ever been in a relationship where you like the guy, you digging him a little bit and you think he digging you, or maybe he told you he digging you, but he ain't into you as much as you into him, or he's totally not into you at all, but you have kind of fixated your eyes on him. You this is the one that I want. And you know what? I will not just restrict it to the women. Anybody, if you have ever found the person that you felt was your person, right? You felt that this was your person. However, the person was I don't really know. And rather than you just kind of taking the hint, you just mean that you're going to make this person like you, right? And so that is a large part of the story. So a lot of these other topics are interwoven into the main subject at hand, which is, again, it's really about relationships, and not just with this, with the title character and the other young guy, but there are a lot of relationships within the book. And so the book itself was really good. It's a really quick read. I think it's about 100 pages. I have one of the main copies, but it is going to be republished. So when it's republished, I think it'll be about 125 pages. So that's how come it's important now to say that you want the book, because it's not even available on Amazon at this time. It should be available on Amazon by this time next week. But if you want the book now, let me know. And then that way you don't have to go through Amazon. You don't have to worry about shipping. You don't have to worry about all of that. I'll take care of all of that for you. So in either case, I want to talk about too because I kind of hit, so I'll tell you guys the chapters that I kind of hit. So I kind of hit a little bit about chapter 1. I kind of hit a little bit in chapter 4. Oh, okay. Yeah. So this was the other point. I knew it was 3 points. I knew it was 3 points I wanted to bring out. And so this is kind of like a softer side of things. It's still deep, but it's a softer side of it. So like I say, she introduces the topic of rape. She introduces the topic of like suicide attempts and that whole mentality. And overall, the book itself deals with relationships and persistence within relationships and overcoming rejection or how to deal with rejection. But one of the things she also brings out very well is the concept of changing who you are for someone else. So let me stop right there and let me ask, for those of you who may still be watching, like, how many of you have you ever tried to change who you are to make someone else happy? And when I say that, it doesn't just have to be a significant other or a romantic relationship, but just in general, have you ever changed who you are because of someone else? Because you're trying to get a head nod from somebody else, you're trying to get acceptance or approval from someone else, and so you end up trying to change who you yourself are as a person. So while you guys are chiming in on that, I will definitely answer myself and say, I absolutely have. I definitely know what it's like, my younger self, very insecure, not really having a strong sense of self or feeling that being who I was good enough. And so, especially like teenage years, definitely, right? High school, trying to fit in. Even as I got older, probably in my younger 20s, just really trying to change to be who I felt was the acceptable person. And even in the various roles that I've played in my life, and I've had many roles. Many different roles in which I have been a part of. And the thing about it is, yes, some change is good, right? Some change is necessary. So as an example, once you become a parent, I'm not necessarily saying that your life shuts down, but there are some habits in which you have to change in order to adjust to the fact that now you are responsible for a little life. You don't want to be all types of trifling. You don't want to be all types of trifling when you have someone that you are trying to be basically a role model for, right? And so I know, that's a natural change. And even, once you get married, there are certain habits that you have to change. So those to me are natural changes. But I'm more so talking about the types of changes where it calls for you to suppress who you are or sacrifice who you are, the things you like, what you want, just so that you can be pleasing or accepting to someone else. And so she talks about that. She brings it out beautifully in this book overall, but especially I want to say it is chapter 3 with Let the Reformation Begin, because sometimes we feel as though that being who we are is not good enough. We feel that we have to change. We gotta, not just the physical appearance, but we feel like we have to change the things that we do. We feel like we have to change our routines. We have to change what we like, what we don't like. And it's not necessary, because I will say this, if you do have to change who you are just so that you can fit in with someone else, you may want to look at who those people are and why is it that they have so much influence over you, or why, not even just so much influence over you, but what makes them so much that you should have to change who you are just to be accepted by them. And when I tell you, it took me a whole lot of years and tears for me to come to that conclusion, but it started with having to accept me and understanding that I was enough, and understanding that if whomever didn't like me or accept me for who I was, then they didn't need to be a part of my life. And I don't necessarily want to say that that's their loss, but everybody is not necessarily meant to coexist, right? A lot of times we feel like, well, you know what? I have to have this person in my world. I have to have this person in my life. but it's so many other people that exist. You know, we many times are in that our own little boxes and our own little circles. So like, I grew up on this block, and so the only people that I know and that I want to be friends with is on this block, or in this you know, this little region, or whatever the case may be. And so we have to learn, hey Mama Joyce, we have to learn how to open our minds, and we have to learn how to think bigger, think outside the box, think beyond the crowd. And so in either case, I'm just about done. You guys know, typically when I do my book reviews, they don't go that long. They never go beyond 30 minutes, typically. Now, sometimes, you know, I have some books that will take you there. But in either case, this book right here, Hopelessly Persistent, this is the book of the hour that I've been talking about. And I want to conclude by really kind of explaining the book cover. So it is a train, and on the train, you have the words hurt, tears, hardship, and pain. And so it's really, you know, like we're basically saying goodbye to all of those factors. So I don't know about you guys, but what better way, what more inspiring way to start the new year than to be able to wave goodbye to all of those things that brought you heartache. Goodbye to all of those things that played a negative role in your life. Goodbye to all the things that made you cry over the months or over the years, and be able to say hello, to welcome in positive energy, welcome in positivity, welcome in those good vibes, welcome in all those things that you have been waiting for. And so in either case, you know, I just want to again encourage you guys, if you like the book and if you want the book, feel free to put in the comment section, whether you're watching from Periscope, Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook, say I want the book. And simply by saying that I want the book, hey Miss Shar, then what I will do is I will automatically put you into my all-inspiring exclusive online community. You get a month for free, as well as I will ship you the book for free. So you only pay a flat $15 rate for this book, but it is definitely well worth the read. So I encourage you guys to get the book. And then finally, I will conclude with, don't forget to tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow, it may be 6 p.m. before I come on live for Woman Wednesdays. And so I believe that we're going to be talking about relationships. It was a particular topic that I want to talk about, but I'm going to revisit it before I officially announce it on here. So in general, generically speaking, I will tell you guys that we will be talking about relationships. And so I'm hoping that you all can join me tomorrow at 6 p.m. And again, I will not keep you long. It won't be longer than maybe 30 minutes. Well, depending on how interactive you guys are, how many questions I have. But 6 o'clock tomorrow for Woman Wednesdays. And then I'll be coming back again live at 5 on Thursdays with aspects of entrepreneurship. So I thank you guys so much for tuning in. And again, please be kind and rewind. And if you are not already doing so, please follow me at APS, the letter N, International. That's APS NTER. NATIONAL, and that is all across social media: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Periscope, Twitter, LinkedIn. You can find me at APS, the letter N, International. So please feel free, if you're not already doing so, to follow me. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate your time. I hope that you learned something, and I hope that you will remain hopelessly persistent. Thank you all so much. And until next time, you guys stay blessed.